have no glasses on. I don't have no glasses on. I need some. I need some glasses. Glasses. Let's see what I got. Watching both places with no glasses on. This is seriously going to be successful. Good morning. TikTok is in the building first. Good morning. Everybody say Grand Rising and good morning. Happy, was this Friday? This is Friday, yes. Happy Friday, happy Venus Day, happy Shango Day, happy Pluto is no longer in Capricorn Day. Happy Pluto is no longer in Capricorn Day. Good morning. Make sure y'all put a sunshine in and say good morning. Tap the screens for the likes. I won't be on too long. I don't want to hold y'all. I want y'all to get to your beautiful days of love, of prosperity, of abundance. Good morning. Hi, I am Ia Dania. I'm an E5 priestess and spiritual awakening doula for the African American diaspora. I am purveyor of good feelings and good energy. And this morning, Ashe received. Thank you. This morning, I didn't even think about Pluto just moving into Aquarius when I decided to go live. I really didn't even think about that. I just felt like I hadn't done a collective reading in a while, and I just wanted to do one right quick. I have an event tomorrow, so those of you who are local to me, account health, it's doing readings, energy healing. I also have a new line of Orisha Alekes and Ide that I just made. So, what is December? Like what happened? I'd have to go look. I haven't looked that far ahead since I did my year reading. So we are going to the sign. The early part of December is Sagittarius, and the later part of December is Capricorn. In terms of the specific date by heart, I want to say the 20th. Yeah, I think the 20th is when Capricorn season officially begins. So from December 1st through then to the 19th, I think it's Sag. All signs are good. There are no bad signs. There is no such thing as a bad sign. All signs are good. Capricorn is the sign of I succeed and I manifest. So in your sun energy, because that's just simply the sign the sun was in when you were born. You would have to get your birth chart done to see like where all the energies are. But where you illuminate is in the area of success and manifestation. Capricorn is a sign of I succeed and I manifest. And that is because it's ruled by Saturn, which is the planet that's hard work. It is hard work. It is karma. It is time. So Saturn often is that you got to put in the work to see the rewards. If you don't put no work in, you're not going to reap the harvest. You can't just get it easy. You're not going to see the success in that way in your sun energy. Now you may see it in ease in other areas, but where you shine and illuminate is your ability to build on a stable foundation. All right. So this morning I'm going to do a collective reading. And this is timeless. So for my folks on Facebook, my folks on YouTube, if you come to this at a later time, this is a timeless reading. I just felt really called to do a reading. Thank you so much, love. Have a good day. I just felt called to do a reading this morning just to kind of get the vibe for the energy for the collective to see what y'all need to know, whatever's for your highest and greatest good. So I'm going to do a really simple spread because like I said, I'm not going to be on here long. I still got self-love baths to put together and stuff for this event tomorrow. I just really wanted to pop on here like real fast. So I'm going to do a quick little spread, get the energy that we most as a collective need to know about right now, and inspired action that we should take and potential outcomes. Thank you for the likes and potential outcomes. Then I'll get a couple of pieces of advice to share with y'all, as well as a self care, because as you know, my religion is self love. And so I always do a self care no matter what kind of reading it is. So here's what is, and I already prayed prior to coming live and did a protection over this. So we are all good. So what is the energy that, with Pluto having moved into the Aquarius, what's the energy we most need to be aware of right now? Yeah. Ooh, I like that. Okay, I'll show you in a second. And what's the inspired action with this energy that we should all take? All right. And what is the potential outcome? Potentials. What's our potential outcome with this energy? Yes. Oh, snap. I'm liking this. I'm already liking this. So I'm gonna start with the back of the deck, because the back of the deck is the undercurrent energy. It's like what's happening behind this, extra behind the scenes. And so we have the lovely Nine of Wands. So as you see here, she's built this fence. This fence is built by her own hands, but it's not real tall. It's not like she built it in such a way where she can't go beyond it, but it's a wall that she's put up to protect herself. So the Nine of Wands is all about that energy of both putting up a wall to protect yourself, but also knowing when it's time to take the wall down, when it's time to like let someone in, when it's also time to let yourself out, let yourself be seen. Um, I don't know who needed to hear like make yourself seen because you a bad, but that's what popped in my head immediately when I said let yourself be seen. It's time for you to let yourself be seen. Where that area of your life that has been for the last 15 years in a space of transformation, it may have felt like upheaval 15 years ago, and it is now finally feeling like the energy is settling. So, somewhere in the midst of this transformation and this growth and this death and rebirth cycle, in this one specific arena of your life, you have put up a wall. And now it is okay to take the wall down. Now that wall is coming down because you hopefully have learned the lessons. You have gone through the transformation. You have allowed yourself to be reborn in that specific area of your life. So that's what's happening behind the scenes. So the energy that we need to be aware of as a collective is the star. And I think that is so beautiful. So the star card is all about hope. It is all about hope of the future. The star comes after the tower, and then the tower, what we have is this tower that has been torn down. All of the what you see is all these kings, all these nobles, and I don't normally describe it this way, but maybe this is important. So these kings and these nobles are all falling out of this tower. The tower has been struck by lightning, and they're all falling out of the tower. And so that's what you see. Everybody's falling out of the tower. You see people like unending. The star card is the aftermath, and what you normally see is someone, Alafia Darcel, good morning, good morning. What you see after this tower moment is this person who they don't have, they are doing nothing. Like they don't have any clothes, they don't have any items. What they have is their hope. That's what they have. They typically have their foot in water and foot on land, meaning they are in the middle of the spiritual and the physical realm. They have hope that they're going to have both prosperity and abundance in the spiritual and the physical sense. And with Pluto having moved, that's exactly what's happening right now. It's like we may have all felt like in a collective, like 15-year-long tower moment. We've been feeling like, okay, well, everything is just like shedding. And that's what Pluto is about. It's like, I'm not going to let you hold on to things that don't serve you. I'm not going to let you hold on to things that are not of your highest and greatest good. So you have been in this shedding process, and now you are like being made new. Now you're fresh. Now you have this new hope and this new energy and this new resiliency. Then the star card represents Aquarius. And considering that's where Pluto just moved in, I am always happy for synchronicities and alignment. This is like, okay, Aquarius can be really innovative, but Aquarius is the sibling of Leo. And so this is also an energy of making sure that you know that you need to stand in your authenticity. You need to stand as your truest and fullest self. That is where Aquarius's true power is. Aquarius is such a humanitarian and so about the collective that sometimes, speaking as an Aquarius, we will hide the most beautiful parts of ourselves to fit in when we need to be looking at our sibling, the Leo. Leo don't do that. Leo walks in as who Leo is. Leo walks in as self. The lesson between Leo and Aquarius is how to find that spot in the middle, to be yourself and be part of the collective, to lead and innovate from a place of authenticity. So that's the energy that we are in as a collective. Our inspired action is the Eight of Pentacles. And I love the Eight of Pentacles energy because the Eight of Pentacles can represent multiple streams of income. It's hard work. It is, I am manifesting and co-creating through myself. And she's doing a lot. Like you see, she got candle work, she got herbs, she's working with the phases. She's using all of her practical and spiritual tools to manifest her prosperity. She's not simply leaning in one area or the other. She's literally using all of her tools and resources, the fullness of herself, the fullness of her practice in order to get that what she desires. And so if we allow ourselves to see ourselves in totality and work with the gifts and the magic and the tools that we all have innately and allow those talents to be seen in ways that are innovative, in ways that are fulfilling and nurturing to ourselves, this is what we get. This is our potential outcome. And I always say potential because energy is not stagnant. It's not still. You can manifest this if that's what you feel like is in alignment with you, because you don't have to read tarot to see 10 of Cups as a happy card. You see kids playing, people swinging rainbows. You don't have to read tarot to know, oh, this is some good stuff. This is good stuff. The 10 of Cups is an overabundance of emotional fulfillment. It is like I have had my wishes come true and I just feel full. The 10 of Cups is like this at the end of this journey, I feel full. I feel nourished. I feel like my cup runneth over kind of energy with nothing but goodness. And I think that is such a beautiful thing, especially considering my Odu this morning was Ogbe Ogunda, meaning the open road leads to removal of obstacles. We are in our own way often, and Pluto will show you where you're in your own way. Pluto will show you where it is that you are holding yourself back and where you need to take the wall down and allow yourself to move forward. A lot of times we feel like we can't when we absolutely have the power and the ability to co-create what we desire, but we continue to allow ourselves to play small. And Aquarius energy ain't gonna let you play small. Aquarius energy, this is gonna be an interesting few years because it's not gonna let us play small. So pay attention to where you see yourself like immediately transforming, where you're being asked to shift between now and June, because that's how long Pluto will be in Aquarius for right now. And then it's gonna retrograde back. So pay attention because this is our preview of what the next 10, 15 years is gonna look like. So super quick advice. I'm gonna get one of each, maybe. That one. And and one angel. What angel? Oh God. I mean that in a very literal sense. Oh God. Okay. So I'm gonna start with the angel deck because this deck, I have two cards that literally represent the Most High. One is the masculine aspect of God and one is the feminine aspect of God. So God showed up in our reading. This card literally represents God as the mother. So it's unconditional love. It says, "Thank you, Divine Mother, for helping me to give and receive the love that I deserve." I don't know if a bunch of y'all had Pluto transiting your seventh house, but I did. And I am just really excited to see what one-on-one connections begin to look like now that Pluto has gone. Now that I have broken down and transformed how I see what relationships need to look like, what partnerships need to look. That came up in my Odu as well. That Odu speaks about all partnerships, whether it is a marriage partnership, a friendship partnership, a business partnership. The Odu I got this morning speaks specifically on partnerships. So this may be simply as a collective, we are looking at how we connect with other people, especially considering Aquarius is a really humanitarian side. How are we connecting with other people? How are we building relationships with people? And are we building it from a place knowing that we deserve unconditional love, knowing that we deserve that partnership to be harmonious and nurturing to us, and also knowing sometimes even the most loving relationships have to end, because that's no longer a part of our journey, that we have moved past that partnership and it is now time for something new and we need to make space for it. But yay. Shouts out to the Most High for showing up in my reading. The back of, oh God. Again, literal, oh my God. Y'all, I kid you not. Like, oh my God. So, okay, so the back of the deck was transformation. And again, Pluto is the planet of transformation. And I lifted it up to show y'all. And the masculine, literally the divine feminine and divine masculine, both God. Y'all go ahead and, yeah, all right. Okay. So I'm going to wind this up because I always feel like I'm going to wrap it up. When God shows up in the reading like that, I'm just like, oh, that's really, really direct. So Ashe for alignment. Last two pieces of advice: initiation, rite of passage, crossing the threshold. Pluto, in the beginning of this transit, it's really going to feel like you're going through an initiation process in your life. You are being ignited to do something. You're being ignited to start something. It's at 0 degrees, and that's a karmic degree. That is the cardinal energy. That is the initiation energy. It is also the most potent of the Aquarius energy. So you might feel weird. You might have some real wild dreams. I've already had a few people tell me they've had some dreams about ETs and other worlds. Pay attention to that. Decide what you will with that information. Pay attention to that though, because that's not going to be uncommon. And then we have so we have Anna, the grandmother of Jesus, seeding the light, laying foundations, and divine plan. All is for your highest good. I had a conversation during my water meditation I received, and I was talking to the young lady, and I said, a lot of times we say we make mistakes and things of that nature, but for me, I always visualize the journey. And let me preface this. I know not everyone chose to be here. Like, I did divination on that because I kept hearing it, and I feel like I chose. So I had to do divination to confirm. I did choose to come. I chose to be here in this life, in this time, after many, many, many times. Peace and blessings, peace and blessings. But I know everybody didn't choose, but for the ones that did, and even if you did, you were like, you gonna come. Like, even if that was the conversation, there was still, I feel like, a dialogue between you and the Most High, the Creator, the Lord, the Mother, God, Goddess, however the source energy, and you had a conversation. And thus you wrote your own choose your own adventure book. Because you and the Most High collaborated and wrote your story in the many, many multiple infinite possibilities for it to play out. I would love for us to change the narrative that when something doesn't work out the way we feel like it should have, or it feels off, that we're being punished. I feel like we need to let go of the idea that the Most High wants to punish us when we do something. They're just simply cause and effect. If you do this, you do that. If you kick the wall, your toe gonna hurt. That's just simply what that is. And we let go of the idea that our creator, who is also embodied in us, who is literally living out life with us in our being, is sitting around waiting for us to F up. because you can't. You can't mess up your journey because you wrote it. So, meaning everything you seemingly feel like is a mistake is also a mistake you potentially saw. You can't pull one over on the Most High. Your free will is to decide, are you going to align with the path of ease or not? Yeah, that's what your free will says. Hey, you know what? I wrote like 50 billion possibilities for how this plays out. 50 billion possibilities. And I'm just going to like, okay, instead of turning to page 10, my intuition's telling me to go to page 10 because this path is going to take me in this way a little bit easier. But I'm going to turn to page 15. Everybody's gonna choose your own. I'm gonna turn to page 15 in my story. So I go to page 15 and oh snap, I tripped down the stairs. That sucks. It didn't mean you did something wrong. It didn't mean you did something wrong. It just simply meant you chose the path where you tripped down the stairs. That's it. That's what that means. And because it is your book, you can always reroute. If you've ever read a Choose Your Own Adventure book, you can always reroute and you will always align to the destiny that is meant for you. You will always align to the destiny that's meant for you. You will always align to the destiny that is meant for you. You simply have to decide, am I aligning to the destiny where I have to get there through hard work? Do I have to get there through strife? Do I have to get there through upheaval? The notion that the creator of all cannot teach you through ease limits your expression of you and source. Source can do anything. If you've already spent most of your life doing it the hard way, maybe you have already done the hard part. Maybe now it's time for you to call your lessons with ease. A tower moment becomes a tower moment because early in the journey, we didn't listen. Early in the journey, our favorite self, our intuition, our ancestors, our angels, our spiritual team is sitting there whispering to us saying, hey, I know an easier way for you to do that. No, we didn't hear that. Hey, there's an easier way for you to do that. We didn't hear that either. God dang it, there's an easier way for you to do this. We didn't hear that either. Fine, tear it all down. That's when the tower moment comes. That's when the tower moment comes. But if you sit and you say, yo, I heard that. I got the nudge. I'm paying attention. You do not have to go all the way to a tower moment to learn your lesson and acquire your blessing. You can choose to do it a different way. So this initiation point is like, okay, we're at the beginning. We're at the beginning of this transit. The Most High is moving the planets and the stars and the cosmos in a way on purpose, not simply because it looks really freaking cool for the planets to all be moving around in an elliptical. God is like, yo, I'm going to move this energy. It says all my energy is permeating through the cosmos and is moving through the planets. And I've told each planet that, hey, I want you to vibrate in a certain way. And all this energy is coming to us because this is God's way of communicating with us. And astrologers are simply the people who God whispered in their ears, say, I want you to know how to read this energy so that you can help and share that information so that the people who can't read the energy know what the freak is going on. And that way they can be in the flow as opposed to being tossed around like a rag doll in a hurricane. It doesn't have to be that way. It does not have to be that way. Pluto transits don't have to be this transit that has to up in your life in a way that feels hurtful. It might be uncomfortable because it'll be like an Eight of Cups moment. The Eight of Cups is a card where you see all the cups, they're perfectly filled. They're all standing upright. Nothing looks wrong with any cup, but you still see somebody chucking the deuces because they're simply no longer in alignment with them. They've reached the end of that journey and it's time to go on to another journey so that they can see their hopes and dreams manifest. They have to let this part of this journey go so that they can see their hopes and dreams manifest. It is absolutely okay to grieve the things that you have to let go of. It is absolutely okay to grieve their loss. That doesn't make you less spiritual. That doesn't make you less divine. That makes you divinely human. That makes you divinely human, and you are still gloriously God, goddess, or whatever you decide to resonate with. You are still also that. We are meant to learn how to be like the star card and emanate in both places in harmony. We're meant to emanate in both places in harmony. and balance them both, understanding the cycles and understanding it's okay to not like the freaking cycle. It's okay not to like it. I sat and had a whole conversation with God, like, yo, I'm really annoyed with you right now. Like, like I might have wrote this, but yo, I don't want to do this like this. I don't want to do this like this anymore. Please take me off the hamster wheel. What do I need to get off? What do I need to get off of the hamster wheel? Because I don't want to do this like this anymore. And what's beautiful is I have cultivated a spiritual practice that is rooted in myself, that has given me such sovereignty in my relationship with the Creator that when I ask for a sign, it is instantaneous. I don't have to wait. I literally, just before I came on here, did my own reading and said the card I got was synchronicity. And then to do a reading for y'all, to have God show up not once, but twice in both the masculine and feminine energy, I call alignment. It's like, this is exactly what I was supposed to do this morning. Notice I put cards up. I'm just channeling at this point. At this point, I'm just in the flow. It is important for us to, in this stage, in Aquarius, reinvent how we see our relationship with God, how we see our relationship with our spiritual practice. My spiritual practice, I'm sitting in my room. Why? Because my goddess cycle is on. I am bloated as all the beat. I'm cramping. I am exhausted. But I wanted to still go through my prayer cycle. So I brought my stuff in here. Put my mat in my bed, brought my ukulele in here. I did my prayer cycle in here, and it was no less potent than what it is in my altar room. Why? Because one spirit is not simply in my altar room. They're not simply sitting at my altar waiting for me to show up. I am God. All that God is, I am, and I am all that God is. I am all of my ancestors. I am every bit of every Orisha. They are always with me. I simply have to set the intention that whatever space I'm in is sacred. And that's on period. As the young folks say, that's on period. Every space I'm in is sacred. Redefine your spiritual practice. Put you back at the foundation. Sometimes we feel like we have to emulate what we see. And if you came in just one day, just sat with me, and you're like, you do everything. I do Ifa divination. I do tarot readings. I channel like now. I am a potent ancestor medium. I enjoy numerology. I love astrology. If you notice, if you were here at the beginning, I have incorporated every single one of those things in this conversation. An Odu, tarot cards, all of it has been included in this conversation because I'm also a mystic. There is not one way to get to God. They're just simply ways. Why? Because God is infinite. Aquarius card, the star is like, I know my connection to source. I know it. I don't believe it. I know it. I know what my connection is. And I know how my spiritual team is going to connect with me. But if you didn't start with yourself, if you immediately went to, oh, I'm going to start doing whatever, then part of your spiritual journey, and then you get to this part of your spiritual journey and you're feeling a little bit disenfranchised, it feels a bit dogmatic. You're like, I left organized religion to not feel like I'm in dogma, but I feel like I'm in dogma right now because you didn't take the time to first develop what you wanted your spiritual practice to feel like just with you. Because by learning what your spiritual practice feels like just with you, it will then emanate when you incorporate other things like your ancestor veneration practice. I can either pray to my ancestors, peace and blessings, thank you. Hey, shouts out to North Carolina. It will feel like you. When I speak to my ancestors, I might say a prayer in Yoruba. I might say peace, love, light, elevation to my honorable ancestors. I might just simply walk in the room, sit down, like, hey, what's up? Which is most common. The Greek come in the room, sit down, hey, what's up? And talk about my day. And just talk about my day. I sat in front of my ancestors one day and I said, I need y'all to know he is real fine. That was the conversation. That's the conversation. I need y'all to know I just want to thank you. I just want to thank you, Lord, because he is real fine. He is real fine. Every time he walks to my door, it makes me smile. I just need y'all to know that I appreciate him. I appreciate him. And I can have that relationship because it starts with me. I don't shirk who I am in front of my spiritual team. I don't like they get me. They get me in my authenticity. Like I will cry in front of them. And that's this morning I did that. This morning I cried. This morning I cried because in my session on Wednesday, the young lady was like, "Why are you not letting your full power show up?" And I said, "It's because I'm afraid. I'm afraid of what people will think, what people will say if I let me be everything that I know that I am in front of them." I said, "That's really, like, I don't know how to put into words what I see, but I also don't know how to put it in a way where I can give it to everybody yet. I'm just still working on that." And that's what I was sitting here crying about. It's like, I just really would love to be in a space where I am okay with doing that. Like, I'm okay with letting that all be seen. It still wigs me out when someone like reads my energy, like, "Yo, um, mm, when that young lady told me when she got ready to do her mantras and things during my meditation, she got stopped for a split second. They were like, 'Yo, hold up, who is you?' And I was just like, oh." But I also know I do a prayer protection every day. And when I think about it, and I said, "God, I don't want anything that I get in terms of blessings to be the harm with anyone. I don't want anything bad to happen to anyone simply because of me. But I also know that if you try to come for me, I don't simply want the loving, nurturing, mothering God. I need God that turned a whole city to ash if someone tries to come for me. If they try to come for my children, I need them. The God that's wrathful, smiting God that people talk about. That's the one I need. When I visualize my protection, that's what I see in front of my house. That's what I see around my children. Is a wall of fire. You can come if you want to. It's a wall of fire. And even in my dream self, she's like that. Like, dream me has time and smoke and is direct. There is no intercessor. There is, I deliver personally. Personally. I deliver personally. And I wake up like, "Shawty, who is that? How about who that woman is?" It's like, "She's you. She's just you don't let nobody see. She is you through and through." Oh, okay. All righty then. All right. But that's my relationship with my spiritual team. I called them for help when I need it. I could be in the car just having a moment and I need y'all. I need you. And the sign is always immediate. I heard you. And it's not cryptic for me because early in my journey, that self-love included me understanding how my spiritual language manifests, understanding where my Mercury is in my birth chart. So it indicates what communication styles might be most potent for me spiritually. Doing that work first helped me get to a place where when I threw an oracle card, I understood my grandmothers were telling me to go to bed. But I had to learn me first. I had to learn me first. That's why, like, I wrote my new program based upon that. It includes Ifa, but the order in which you get there is the order in which I got there. You have to do self-love work. You're just not going to come work with me and not do it. You're going to do the self-love work. We're going to do the shadow work. We're going to do cultivating you before you decide to look for something that is seemingly outside of you. You have to know that you are the altar, you are the complicated ritual, you are the spiritual practice. And then everything else is simply an emanation, an extension of you. Okay, so that was all extra that I did not intend to do today. So, did I give y'all, what was our self-care? Did I give y'all the self-care? I don't know I did. So let me get to self-care. Let me give y'all self-care. So if you feel a strong call to tarot cards, like you feel like you really one, make sure tarot if you are called. Everyone says go to Rider-Waite Smith. I'm not going to say that. I went to Rider-Waite Smith after I built my intuition. I would say one, build that intuitive muscle, learn what your intuitive yes is, because that's what helped me divine most effectively for myself doing readings. I knew what it felt like in my body when my intuition was telling me yes. And when I would get the yes, I was confident. I was absolutely confident that, okay, yeah, this is it. But my first tarot deck was the Mythical Goddess Oracle. And that's because the picture called to me. Go and let yourself be led to your deck. I wasn't led to Rider-Waite Smith. And even now, I don't like the way the cards look. They're old and ugly. And so I don't resonate with them. I'm clairvoyant. And so vision is important to me. So I have to like the way something looks. All my decks are super pretty. Like, look at this card. It's so pretty. They're all super pretty. So this one is, so that you can see it, this is a Light Seers or tarot deck. So this one, I like the Mythical Goddess one that I have because it also tells you the astrological placements of the cards. So it's not labeled like cups and things like that, but they still align the same way. It's still the 78 card deck, but it also has the astrology placement. So I know that this card is a Venus and Scorpio, which is the 7. Is it the 7? I have to look at it, but it tells you the astrology placements of each one of the cards. So that way, if you want to learn that, because it also gives you an extra layer. Like, okay, I might see that card, and for me, intuitively, I will know it has nothing to do with the card. It has everything to do with the zodiac sign. So that's why I liked that deck, and that's why I learned to read with that deck. Same thing with oracle cards. Oracle cards are a bit more straightforward, and again, it was, oh my God, this is pretty. So my first 2 tarot decks are the Mythical Goddess one. And if you have any call to Ifa or Orisha, the Orisha tarot deck. The Orisha tarot deck is definitely Santeria Lakumi based. I am not a Santeria or Lakumi practitioner. I practice traditional Ifa, so Isheshe. But I love the deck. And I learned so much about Orisha and the Odu specifically from using that deck. So by the time I felt like I wanted to initiate, there were Odus that came like, I know that one, because there was a part of it within the interpretations in that deck. So if you feel called to Orisha tradition, I feel like that's also a good deck. So those are my 2. And I would say I found this one later. The Light Seekers one would definitely be, because this one has more modern visuals. Like you don't have to be able to read tarot to look at the 5 of Pentacles and say, okay, this person feels lost. In some capacity, they feel like there's loss. Once you understand Pentacles represents your material world, like money, work, things of that nature, then you can be like, they feel like they don't have no money. But what you can also see is she's right there by a door. She's right there by a door with Pentacles on it. So she simply needs to go to the door and open it up. That's where the money is. The money's right there. All she has to do is stop sulking, look up, and go to the door. You don't. That's why I like them. This is the Queen of Swords. She looks wise. She looks like she's contemplating something. And she's not going to swing her sword until she's absolutely ready to swing it. Notice you could get that with just simply the picture. And then once you know that swords represent thought, ideas, and communication, then it brings about, okay, so swords is wind. So she's not going to say something. She's not going to act on something until she knows that she's meant to act on it. She's not going to meant to act or do anything until she knows that she's meant to act on it. So this is definitely one that I would recommend. Does that help? I gave you 3 decks, but I only had one of them in here to show you. So, and then while you're doing that, I'm going to get my self-care for y'all. So self-care, y'all need a self-care. You're welcome, hon. All right. So self-care for today. I don't know who. Abundance planning. Abundance planning can be you working on your budget. Don't go balling out over the weekend, or do go ball out over the weekend. But it's also, if you got a windfall of money today, how would you feel and what would you do with it? It is planning how you will embrace and leverage the abundance when you receive it. How will you show your gratitude for it? So that's one thing that's back. And then positive affirmations. Speak positively over yourself. Give yourself lovely words. Say lovely things over yourself. And for those that came at the end, as a reminder, we had God show up in our reading twice. That means you are absolutely supported and loved and anchored in to your blessings, to this journey with the Most High. Simply talk to her. It's March. We're in her. If God, feeling like God that birthed everything into existence, and it makes you feel queasy that we reference her as her, then just go back to Him, and that's fine. Because God's neither her nor him. God is everything, and today's God's a her, because that's the version of God that showed up first. So talk to her, and you don't have to sit and have a conversation. And then say, hey, if you got that, if anything I said made sense, or you just heard me, can you show me blah? And ask for a sign specific. Don't be like, oh, can I get a sign? And then when God gives you the sign, you miss it because you ain't asked for a specific sign, so you don't know what God gonna do. Why don't you just ask? You know how you pray for your car to be fixed? Be specific. Can you just, if you heard me, can I get a green flower? Whatever that needs to be. Pray for your sign to be specific, and then define specifically what the sign needs to be. But have a conversation with God. Have it just talk. Just talk. So I'm going to close this out with thank you. Thank y'all so much for the likes. Thank you for the follows. Thank you for everything. For those that were not here at the beginning, once again, my name is Ia Dania. I am an Ifa priestess and spiritual awakening doula for the African American diaspora. I am the owner and founder of Nia's Garden of Divine Expansion, LLC. Link is in the bio. I do have openings available for my 12-month program. I do have it broken into quarters, but the full program is 12 months. It's Practically Spiritual Journey with Ifa, where we take you through self-love work, shadow work, cultivating your personal mission, vision, and values, developing your intuitive yes within your body and trusting it, building a relationship with your Ori. Then ancestor veneration. Then we talk about dreams, we talk about protection, and then we go into the world truths of Ifa. For those who are interested, I'm taking students. It's only 15 students in this class, and this is not initiating you into Ifa. This is putting you in a position that if you decided to go to an African traditional practice, you will have done a lot of the foundational work that you would be asked to do prior to initiation. You will have done the foundational work of self-love, of venerating your Ori, of honoring your ancestors prior to go to any tradition. If you decide that Ifa is where you want to go, by then you will know, do you want to go the traditional route, or do you want to go Lukumi, Santeria, or something else? If you want to go traditional, I'm open to godchildren. We could talk about it. This is the first time I've said this on a live, so you're welcome for being the first. Pluto moved. This is what we're doing right now. I have already been called that I need to be open to godchildren. So for those that are looking, and don't cry, oh God, traditional route for Ifa, then by all means, feel free to reach out to me. Like I said, if you're looking for Lukumi Santeria, I might be able to point you to some people that I follow that could take you that route. But I know, right? It started with, you need to offer Ifa divination. Okay, all right. Then it started with, hey, those Alekes and Ides, you should make them for the public. Okay. And then I finally just sat like, yo, what's really good? What is it that you want? What's happening? And it was just really quiet, like, you need to be open to having godchildren. So Ashe, I already saw it. I saw it in a dream. So it's just like, okay, answering the call, period. That's it. Just simply answering the call. So I hope that y'all have a beautiful day. I'm going to go respond to my god sibling. Okay, just reach out to me. Inbox me. I do 15-minute consults. They're only like $20. So, and then if you decide to book something afterwards, $20 goes towards that. So by all means, feel free to reach out to me. Otherwise, y'all have a beautiful weekend, have a beautiful day, and take care. Thank you. Okay. And sure. Earlier. Let me you can't do that in broadcast.